Title: Te. If I posted a video montage online of my neighbor throwing things in my yard, my mom and I bought a duplex for me to live in and manage while I was in college. We bought it in 2018, and I moved in during the summer of 2019. Because it was a new place in a college town, we installed a Ring security system, a doorbell camera in the front, and video floodlights in the backyard. When I first moved in, I noticed a huge pile of branches and limbs stacked up along the fence line on my side of the backyard. It was weird because we only had one medium-sized tree, and it was almost 10 feet away from the fence. There was no reason for that many branches to be in our yard. Later that summer, the backyard Ring camera caught my neighbor tossing branches over the fence into my yard. That's when we realized the big pile wasn't from our tree at all. She was literally cleaning her yard by throwing everything into mine. Fast forward to Halloween. My roommate and I decided to throw a party on Friday, November 1st. We knew it might get a little loud, so we tried to be considerate. We went over to talk to the neighbor, but no one answered the door the 3 times we tried. We ended up leaving a note explaining that we were having a party, gave the date and time, and included our names and phone numbers in case there were any issues. The party itself was pretty typical for a college house, around 30 or so people coming and going, music playing, and a beer pong table set up in the backyard. Around 11:45 p.m., the cops showed up for a noise complaint, which was fair. They told us to shut it down, and we did. A few days later, on the 4th, I was in class when I got a notification from the front doorbell camera. I checked it and saw my neighbor, who we'll call Jolene, in my front yard. She was pulling up my decorative styrofoam tombstones from the lawn and tossing them behind my bushes. When I got home, I saw that one of them was broken. At that point, my roommate and I decided to call the non-emergency police line. It was clear Jolene had no respect for our property, and to be honest, this is the South, and you never know who might have a gun or how far someone might take things. A cop came out, we showed her the video, and then we all went over to talk to Jolene. Her fiancé answered the door and immediately claimed she wasn't home, even though her car was right there in the driveway. The cop couldn't force her to come out, so nothing really happened. Time went on, and things got even creepier. I started noticing that Jolene was actually coming into my backyard through a gate that's way in the back, not near the street at all. The Ring camera caught her wandering around my yard, smoking and just lurking. That freaked me out. I put a carabiner on the gate so she couldn't just walk in anymore. At the end of November, I came home one day and literally saw huge tree limbs flying over the fence into my yard. I got out of my car and confronted her. We argued, and she claimed that she owned 2 feet of my backyard, so she could do whatever she wanted there. Then she ended the conversation with, "Do you want to make these next 4 years a living hell?" After that, I called the non-emergency number again. Once more, when the cops came, she refused to answer the door and basically hid. Around this time, I also found out she's a professor at my university, which made everything feel even more uncomfortable. She has power and connections that I definitely don't. I tried going through official channels. I emailed the dean's office at my university, laid out everything that had happened, and attached video clips from the Ring cameras. The response I got back was basically useless. They said there wasn't much they could do because it was off-campus neighbor conflict. Meanwhile, the police kept telling me they couldn't really do anything either, even though I had video evidence and 4 clearly posted no trespassing signs on my property. My mom and I eventually paid for a survey of the property line, just to be absolutely sure. The survey confirmed that Jolene does not own 2 feet into my backyard. The fence is the boundary. She has 0 claim to my yard. So now I'm stuck with a neighbor who throws her yard waste into my yard, comes onto my property without permission, breaks my decorations, hides from the cops, and has basically threatened to make my life miserable for the rest of my time in college. I feel like I've tried to handle this the mature, legal way, and no one with any authority seems willing or able to do anything. Because she's a professor and clearly cares about her reputation, I started thinking about another option. I have all these ring videos, her throwing branches over the fence, pulling up my decorations, wandering around my backyard. I was considering putting together a video montage and posting it online with a caption like "University Professor's Actions Toward Her Student Neighbor." On one hand, I'm angry and exhausted, and I want her to face some consequences or at least be embarrassed enough to stop. On the other hand, I know that posting it publicly could blow up and have real consequences for her career, and I'm not sure if that would make me an asshole. WBT if I posted this video montage online with the caption, "University Professor's Actions?"